Breaking news tonight, Diddy goes to jail after exuberant celebrations outside the courthouse with Diddy fans dousing each other with baby oil, of course. Now a somber tone as Sean Combs heads to jail. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us. Lynn Shaw joining me, founder and director of Lynn's Warriors, dedicated to ending sex trafficking and sex abuse on girls and women. When I learned about the split verdict, I was speechless. I couldn't believe it, but it's happened. So what do you want the prosecutors to do? Go home and hide under the bed? Should they have just never even brought the case? They did it because they believed it. And I still do believe it, Lynn. I believe Cassie Ventura was coerced and beaten into having sex with male sex workers. That's sex trafficking. I believe her.
I believe Cassie, I believe Jane, I believe sex trafficking. This is a sober reflection today on everything I've been talking about for about 8 weeks now with this trial, that the public, and I'm gonna say the jurors, okay, do not understand predation, power, what sex trafficking is. And a reminder, again, this case was not just about one man. This case was about all of the victims across the country, the world, whose voices have been silenced because they don't come forward, because the justice system usually picks power, wealth, status over believing their truths. But I want to point out, as the day unrolled, there is hope. I've spent all day coaching people, talking people, fielding text messages. And I want to say, you know what? These victims that reach out to me, Nancy, they're not even angry. You know what they keep saying? Please, Lynn, please remind everybody we're victims. Please remind everybody we have a voice. Please remind everybody we are here. And that goes back to we have to do in society a better job of educating about sex trafficking, about trauma bonding, trauma, what predation really looks like. This is the most frightening thing to empower this Sean Combs. And I just want to make the commitment that we will work very hard to continue reforming, raising awareness, and working with the justice system.
Straight out to Lynn Shaw. This also happened in the proceedings. This is after Combs tried to raise his hand to address the judge directly during the arguments. And this is after the split verdict, when everybody was celebrating outside. Now comes the appeal bond, where the judge is going to decide, will Combs walk free tonight? Okay? The judge looks over at the defense, and he says, as Sydney just reported, quote, "You full-throatedly," I've never even heard anybody use that phrase, but he did. "You full-throatedly, in your closing argument, told the jury there was violence, and domestic violence is violence. You said this was a case that did have violence." This is the judge talking to Combs. As to the basic question of violence, you conceded that in your closing argument. Now, throughout this, Combs is furiously passing notes back and forth to Agnifilo, who is trying to stand there and argue and read all of Sean Combs' notes. Wait for it, Lynn Shaw. Agnifilo responds, "I just think we should trust him. He's not going to flee. He just deserves a chance." Lynn?
Please, let us all get off this dirty Diddy degenerate merry-go-round that we're all on. How dare that lawyer? How dare he? He's got a wife. He's got a daughter, I believe. He's got sisters, a mother. Talk like this. Violence is violence. Trust him. We have seen everything to the contrary, including video evidence of Cassie being beaten. How much more do we need? This goes back to, this is one of the worst days here at the Warriors. To have all of this video, to hear the way they're talking about victims. Trust him. Trust him. There's no way anybody should trust him. I'm here in New York City, and Rob Shooter's correct. We've got these dirty Diddy disciples running around. People should be in fear of this guy. But that brings me to, how does he get away with all of this for decades? What about the victims that I've been up for 48 hours now counseling, helping, giving out phone numbers, resources? Come stay with me if you don't want to be alone. What a slap in the face today to all of these victims, survivors of any kind of sexual abuse. And you know what? This is the problem with sex trafficking. Nobody, I'm a broken record, nobody understands it. Nobody understands what force, fraud, coercion. Nobody understands coercion. And you know what? It is time we change it up. But this is a travesty today. What a slap in everybody's face.